Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Standards Education Talks. My name is Natasha Tai and I will be your host for today. And joining me is the lovely head of school at Christian Alliance P.C. Lau Memorial International School, Dr. Cora Hui, and the beloved parent, Mrs. Icy Lai. So thank you very much for joining me today. So Dr. Hui, we have all experienced the impact of COVID-19 and we've all witnessed the different effects it has on different people. So what kind of changes have you personally seen COVID-19 bring upon your children?
I think I see that among Hong Kong children, a lot of them have become less independent. They seem to rely a lot on affirmation from parents or adults, and they seem to not able to do many things that usually in that age they're able to do. I find some of them are not as expressive to share their thinking or feelings. And also some of them have become less sociable, meaning that they don't want to interact with people. And I think this is a great concern.
And Icy, how has COVID personally impacted your child?
For me, I do see quite a lot of changes for my kid because he doesn't got siblings. So every day just so lonely, staying at home. And what I can see the change is more on like social interaction. The social skills is not that good. When they need to communicate, he tends to not know how to start a conversation and they don't know how to request or express even for their feeling. I think in addition to like social, it's also more emotional. At the very beginning, when there's COVID, there's lockdown, he will request for mommy, I still want to go down to play. I want to play scooter, I want to run around. But I said it is not possible at that time. Later on, I can see actually the changes. He started not to request anymore. He say, mommy, I'm so anxious. I don't want to go out. I think it's more safe staying at home. And he watch more TVs, using more computers or iPad because I need to work. I'm a working parent, so I think most of the time he just spend time on his own doing this kind of thing. He also lost the daily routine because normally wake up early for school and with some normal interest class, go out to do like swimming or other sports. But during the lockdown, all recreational facilities were closed. And actually, I think it's not, the disruption is like, he didn't spend his energy, he's more emotional, easily get angry or lost control, I can tell. And then I think the sleep quality, the habits has been all disrupted. This is the most obvious change that I can see.
Yeah, that is incredibly concerning regarding your child's wellness and the self-development. But Dr. Hui, as a school, you're actually in a position to help and guide these children in this time of need. So what has Christian Alliance P.C. Lau Memorial International School helped these students in this time of need?
Yeah, I remember like the latest lockdown we had was from the past Christmas to near Easter break. And one of the things that Christian Alliance P.C. Lau Memorial International School has done is to have daily assembly with all the children through Zoom. So every morning, they have to get up on time, sign in. It is the same starting time at 8 o'clock. And children are so excited to come in and say hi to their friends, making jokes. And then after socializing, we usually have a short time talking about things that is relevant to them. And we always end the morning assembly with physical activity. So we have a coach who will be helping us to do different stretches and different activities to help them to bring in more oxygen into the bodies, help them to wake up before their daily classes. So that has been really helpful, we find. And during the morning assembly, we talk about topics that will help them to ease the anxieties. We teach them about mindfulness, helping them to understand the importance of keeping the habits that they already have or building new habits that actually are good for them. And our children, sometimes they have nannies at home. A lot of times they look after their own little area and that's all they do. We actually actually asked them to extend, to have different acts of kindness. There was a week we asked our children to name things they can do, the act of kindness, even when they are locked at home. And we were so amazed that children have come up with hundreds of activities they can do at home, whether it's bringing a cup of coffee to the mommy, whether it's helping the helpers to sweep the floor, something they can do even in a limited environment. And it really helped children to see that, wow, I can still do many things. I can still be creative. And that's very important. And I find that is one of the many things we have done, and that has helped us to light up the day for every child at the school.
I agree. It's such an interactive way to engage with children and their self-development. So what has this holistic approach to children's education helped with their wellness as well?
Well, I think in our school, we always tell our children our school logo is a very good place for them to remember how learning is about. And our logo is a tree. In fact, it's planted by the streams of water. And it will yield its fruit in its season, and the leaf will not wither. And whatever they do will prosper. So our logo is actually a tree planted by the stream. So in fact, we want children to know what is the foundation. In holistic education, we talk about 2H, that is the foundational design of all children's learning approach. And one of it is the heart. The heart is the motivation. And we want our children to learn to have a grateful heart. We are teaching them every morning when they get up, count 3 things that they can be thankful for. Every night before they go to sleep, count 3 things, even the same 3 things, but having the habit to start the day with a thankful heart is a way to start in a positive way. We talk to our children to have a willing heart. We talk to them about they're not doing the right thing because they want to be noticed for being good or they want to avoid having punishment. But having a willing heart, the intrinsic motivation for doing the right thing has really helped children to give one more thought to why they do things. And that is building the heart, guarding the heart so it's in the right place. And I think that is so important during the COVID time because they really feel lost as everybody seems to have new normals. And for young children, they don't even know what is normal and what is new normal. But I think it's so important to tell them it's so easy. It is about having a thankful heart and having a willing heart to learn, to adapt, to bring new challenges to life, and that is so important. And again, we talk about habits, and that is the second H of the holistic education, of building the foundation for young children, especially about their wellness. Because, stress even for adults, we lose hair, we lose sleep, we overeat, and all this is because of signs of stress, and children do feel stressful too. And I think for us, it's to helping them to know that they don't have lack of food in Hong Kong, but there might be lack of healthy food. We want our children to eat healthily. We want them to also sleep well, sleep early, drink enough water in the day. Every morning when they get up, they have to drink 1 glass of water to just hydrating themselves. And all of these things we talk to our children as they practice, they can see the effect in their health, and that brings a lot of difference because that is the foundation for all of our wellness, is to have the right motivation for everything we do, as well as having good habit. This habit is helping our body to function well, and that is the 2H of our holistic education. And then we talk about what do they do with their mind and their hands, and we want them to think about mindfulness. They have to be mindful, thinking of their own thinking of their own feeling. And that is so important. In our school, we talk about children, they have intentional for writing, for reading, purposefully slowing down so that they can be thinking of their own thinking. And with that, it brings out creativity. It brings out critical thinking skills. And that is what we want our children to have with their mind. It's not so much of stuffing more knowledge that they can learn with the internet. I think it's not about how much you can learn in such a short time, but how much you can create with the information you have and how much you can critically think about the information that you are given. And we want them not just to have the knowledge and have no outlet. So connecting is so important. And even during COVID time, we have our children connecting with one another. Our lessons is always in small group. And you think, oh, there's only little time you can have with a small group. But the children get more attention in small group learning. And what we're trying to say is even now with face-to-face, our children need to have time to talk. Learning is not a quiet activity. It should be noisy. It should be interactive. Children need to be connecting with one another. And that means they apply what they learn into using it to serve others. In our school, we want children to work with one another, to build things together. And then we're in the makerspace here. They often spend the time doing things, creating, experimenting, and also going out and to go to meet other people, talk to other people, serve other people. And I think that is so important, that communicating, collaborating, critical thinking, creative thinking are the essential 4 C's of the 21st century learning skills. And I think holistic education is focusing, developing these skills for our children.
That sounds incredible and very, very well thought out. And actually, Icy, as a parent, how has Christian Alliance P.C. Lau Memorial International School helped your child through their education?
I think I quite agree what Dr. just mentioned. And for me, I can see the change that when my child goes back to school, there's totally a different thing from what I just mentioned at the beginning. It's like I like the school-wide events. There are quite a lot of different school-wide special days. Like in September, we have the book character dress-up day. We have the mooncake drive. We have orange shirt day. We have a lot of different special events. And kids were so excited every day and then tell mommy, I'm going to do something. Next week, I'm going to have another activity. And then like the book character day, they all dressed in their most favorite book character with a special costume, and everybody was very excited. They go on stage and do the catwalk, and then they do posing. There are a lot of photos from school that I can see a big smile in their face, even with a mask. You can see they're really enjoying. And I do know that in addition to posing, they also have a kind of very short public speaking, talking about, sharing about what's related to my favorite book, why I dress up like this. And I think this can help them in this trusted environment, comfortable environment. I'm more willing and more comfortable in speaking in front of others, and there are a lot of interaction. And the other, like the mooncake drive, I like it so much because in addition to just learning or getting knowledge, I like them knowing that you have to care for the society. We have to contribute with the community, and then you can donate the mooncake. You can actually get the mooncake and then go to visit the elderly center. And I also see the activities photo. They're all so sweet and warm. And then my son actually sometimes come back and tell me, Mommy, if I do something good to someone, like I hold the door for the others and then others smile at me and say thank you, my heart feels really warm and I like it so much. So I think at school, if they have this kind of community related events, I think it's very, very good for them so that they know, I should be contented with what I have. I have to be thankful. So I'm really happy from their heart. So this is something that I think CAPCL can give to my son. School-wide events and also a lot of group activities in class. They do a lot of projects. From time to time, they have different projects talking about like global issue, global warming, and they need to do research. They form groups, they do research on the internet, and then they need to research for how I build a city using recycled materials. They need to go back home and then find out all those materials that can be recycled, bring back school, and have a drawing, design plan, and then work with groups, and then do the presentation. I think all these is a significant interaction that they didn't have when they staying at home, being locked down. And then I can see he felt a lot of interest in doing all these, and is more confident and is more welcome to talk more and share more every day and every night. Yeah, this is what I treasure for those interactive way from CAPCL.
And with all of these activities with very positive changes, Dr. Hui, what do you hope your students are able to learn through all of this?
Well, I want in early childhood education and all throughout elementary school, our children need to learn to build the right foundation. As I mentioned earlier, holistic education is about having the right motivation for what they do and having the right habits, because habits change the way we think and the way we do things, and that is so important. We want our children to have good habits as well as having the right motive for the work that they do. And that is really important, we see. That's what we hope for our children. And of course, as Icy was saying, we want them to learn different skills and use that to serve other people. And that is important. It's not about them only getting, it's about them giving. Because life is about giving, and that is so good. Yes.
And can this holistic approach to wellness also be applied outside of school? Like, what can we do to help students and children as well?
I think it is a lot about homeschool collaboration, right? I see. Yes, because it's what we teach our children. They have opportunity to practice and apply in different arena, and that helps them to consolidate. That is definitely the way to go. And it's build the confidence and also build the competence in all the things that they learn, and that is very important.
Thank you. Finally, Dr. Hui, I see, is there any final words that you would like to share?
I think for parents, every time we have to remember when we give birth to our kids, at the very beginning, we think that health is most important. Not, always thinking about how they can achieve, what achievement they can have, do they get academic result better and better. I think more importantly, we have to take care of their mental health as well. So I do encourage all the parents to use the holistic approach just mentioned by Dr. Hui. We can do a lot at home because, like, as parents, we are so unique. We can help them and then bring them out to play more and then enjoy more outdoor activities and then be thankful for what we have, do more community service, even buying flag or give your seats to others. I think we can do day to day to work together with the school. We are we're cooperating with each other to help the children's wellness.
Thank you, Icy. And Dr. Hui, is there anything else you would like to share as well?
Natasha, I think because we are a Christian school, in addition to the 4H approach to holistic education, building the foundation, I also want to talk about a particular psalm. In the Bible, actually, there is a poem that talks about the shepherd look after the sheep. And I think in this Psalm 23, it talks about, the Lord is my shepherd and the sheep doesn't have any want. They can actually lie down by the green pasture, by the quiet water. I think that is something we can learn from and help everybody in different seasons of life to look at wellness. Because for sheep to lie down, in fact, it required them to have safety. Otherwise, they were thinking, I need to run away from something. I cannot sit down, I cannot lie down. And I think that goes with hunger, right? When sheep are hungry, they want to look for food. And that is about physical need. We have to remember for our children to feel safe that we need to be careful of their physical need, that is their physical health. We have to be careful of the environment, and that is probably thinking about their social needs, as well as in the environment, whether we have any of the emotional needs that they have, or even the tensions that we have at home or outside. If they don't feel that they're settled, it's really hard for them to lie down. And I know COVID can be really bothering, not just to young people, but also to everyone. It's a global pandemic. But the psalm said that even I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I will not fear because you are with me. For children, it's so important that they know we are in it together. The togetherness is very important, that we as an adult to spend time, be present, to share with them, because that is about building the resilience. They know that not everything is going rosy, but that's okay. Mommy and daddy is with me and I can also overcome. And over time, you don't have to talk about what is resilient. You just say, we go through it together. And we have built our resilience by being able to overcome hardship together. When we are together, we can handle it together. And I think COVID had really helped us to see what is important. And I think it is a time for us not only to build our characters, but to value what is our real priority. So don't just let COVID go through and just wait for it to over, but to really think about in this time, it is helping us to develop a resilience, helping our children to shape their characters, and also the Bible also said that my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of our life. And I think for our children and for us, we need to know it will be over. It means that we have to see beyond this present situation. It means that we have to look at abundance, that there is always more waiting for us. And when we learn to count our blessing, we look at not what is missing, but what we have. And that is so important. So I think that would be my final words. As a Christian school, we incorporate biblical principles into everything we do. And in day-to-day interaction with our children, we see them like our sheep, that we look after them. We ensure that they're free of danger, whether it's physical harm, emotional needs, social need, environmental need. But even in times of difficulties, we tell them that's okay because we are together. And with that, we build resilience. And at the end, we always let them know goodness and love will follow them, because that is so important for them to know that when they serve others, they actually leave footprints of goodness behind for other people as well. And I think that's my final word for all of us here. It's not just for our children, for us as well, that we need to look after our health. We need to know abundance is with us. We are not in lack, and that's important.
Yes. That sounds amazing. And thank you, Dr. Hui, and thank you, Icy, for telling us about your holistic approach to wellness at Christian Alliance P.C. Lau Memorial International School. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today at our education talk. We hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.